Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another installment of trying to get this to work. We will, I've got a good feeling about this time, but I had a good feeling about all the other times. It's good to feel good, I guess. So, Isa is going to come join us, hopefully, and gonna have a good old chit chat about how to raise the vibration. Raise your vibration, our vibration, everyone's vibration. So, hey guys, good to see you jumping on. Rose, thanks for keep popping up. So what's happening, if anyone else can maybe help with this, what's been going on is, hey Rose, is he's had trouble even joining the videos. Like the live seems to have not been coming up on my page when he's been in it, like right now, and then he's struggling to, or he's been not being able to join them for some reason as well. Like Facebook's not allowing him to join. Originally I thought, because he had his laptop and phone logged in, so I thought maybe there was it won't let you join it if you're on your computer. It doesn't explain why you can't actually join the video, or why I can't find the video. Wait. Yeah, nah. I like riddles and problems and trying to solve them. I really enjoy the part where it gets solved. That's my favorite part of problems, the solution, the implementation of a solution. Yeah, but rattling your brain is a bit fun as well to begin with. If you guys have any solutions, I'm all ears. But already I'm not seeing him, so I'm feeling like may not be going ahead. But good news is, well, hopefully, we've got another episode coming up this afternoon with Catherine Godward as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's just really... Hello. It's challenging us to get to 100 episodes, eh? I think maybe Facebook doesn't want us to share this information about how to raise your vibration. Some pretty hectic shit. You might even not use Facebook as much. Well, depends what you're up to. What do you guys do? What has been happening in your world? I could read more of the... Maybe I'll just read to you guys for the next hour. Healing trauma. No, I don't want to heal trauma. Yeah, I really don't think old mate's going to be joining us. Invite. Got to be in it to win it. All you do is try. Alright, I wanted to read. Where is it? Alright, we'll just do another lucky dip. Chicken soup for many women here. Chicken soup for the woman's soul. Oriani, hello. Jack Canfield, yeah, he's a bit of a boss. Chicken soup for the woman's soul. He was all up about Chicken Soup for the Soul is his #1 bestseller, but this is #1 bestseller too. 101 stories to open the hearts of rekindle the spirits of women. All right, well, you ladies seem to be women. Womanly women. All right. Say when. Okay, good. There is a will. Good book. Yeah, cool. All right, there we go. Regis Philbin and I celebrate Mother's Day on our television program, Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, by asking our viewers to write and tell us about a special mum. Each year, we receive thousands of letters. People who would never write about themselves open their hearts about the mother they love. Here is one of those extraordinary and inspiring stories. This story is by Stacey Nazelroad. Well, thanks for writing in, Stacey. Both the books got me fucking give me a big story to read to you. So maybe that's what I meant to do. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I am a mother of 3 children. Oh, wait. I'm a mother's 3rd child, born when she was 20. When I was delivered, nurses took me from the room before she could see me. Her doctor gently explained that my left arm was missing below the elbow. Then he gave her some advice. Don't treat her any differently than other girls. Demand more, he said. Even before my father left us, my mother had to go back to work to support our family. Okay, cool. Thanks, Charlotte. There were 5 of us girls in our Modesto, California home, and we all had to help out. Once when I was about 7, I came out of the kitchen whining, "Mum, I can't peel potatoes. I only have one hand." Mum never looked up from sewing. "You get yourself into that kitchen and peel those potatoes," she told me. "And don't even use that as an excuse for anything again." Of course I could peel potatoes with my good hand while holding them down with my other arm. There was always a way, and Mum knew it. Fuck, that's pretty bang on. If you try hard enough, she'd say, you can do anything. In 2nd grade, our teacher lined up my class on the playground and had each of us race across the monkey bars, swinging from one high steel rod to the next. When it was my turn, I shook my head. Some kids behind me laughed, and I went home crying. That night, I told Mum about it. She hugged me, and I saw her. She hugged me, and I saw her. We'll see about that. She hugged me, and I saw her. We'll see about that. Look. When she got off work the next afternoon, she took me back to school. At the deserted playground, Mum looked carefully at the bars. "Now, pull up with your right arm," she advised. She stood by as I struggled to lift myself with my right hand until I could hook the bar with my other elbow. Day after day we practiced, and she raised me for every rung I reached. I'll never forget the next time my class lined up at the monkey bars. Crossing the rungs, I looked down at the kids who'd made fun of me. Now they were standing with their mouths open. It was that way with everything. Instead of doing things for me or excusing me, my mother insisted I find a way to do them myself. At times I resisted her. She doesn't know what it's like, I thought. She doesn't care how hard it is. But one night after a dance at my new junior high, I lay in bed sobbing. I could hear Mum come into my room. "What's the matter?" she asked gently. "Mum," I answered, weeping. "None of the boys would dance with me because of my arm." Hey, Aurélien. He's here. I'll just finish this. Because of my arm. For a long time I didn't hear anything. Then she said, "Oh honey, someday you'll be beating those boys off with a bat. You'll see. You'll see." Her voice was faint and cracking. And she lived happily ever after. Isn't that a beautiful story? So, if a chick with one arm can fucking do it, you can too. The story. Just like getting motherfuckers on Facebook. My man.
Hello. Hello.
Hey. All right. So.
Finally.
Bro. Exactly right. So I can still hear the pitter patter.
Yeah, there is
So
echo,
Yeah,
right?
there is echo, right?
Yeah. Can you hear your voice?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can.
Like,
Like,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I
perfect.
can still hear it too.
I think it's better now.
I can still,
The echo was from
Yeah.
your side.
yeah, I can still hear a bit of a pitter patter or whatever the fuck that noise is.
Okay.
Is that the only set of headphones you've got?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, I have another one if you want.
Do you want to try the other one?
Yeah, just 1 second.
Oh, I'll keep reading while this is going. Oh fuck! I lost the page. Oh, it's gone. Oh, well.
You
Molly Robert.
You said mobile phone or headphone?
Headphones.
Headphone, yeah. All right. Just one thing.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better.
My man. Perfect.
Wow, after 1 hour, but we are on time. I thought it was 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Kidding. French punctuality.
Exactly on time.
It's question of
No, but
frequencies.
well, you said 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
you did
yeah,
say 2 o'clock in the message to me because you were talking about Sydney time,
That's the
or
point, right?
like down
So
south.
I'm
But I'm
almost on time. Yeah, it's question of bad vibration actually, stress, vibration, and so on. That's the problem. Yeah, actually, you know, it's
Fucking
like
duck.
dogs. The electronic device feel that you don't like them, and I really hate. I'm really not AT oriented and skills. That's why I think it's the problem. They felt my bad energy regarding them. At a point. Sorry about that. Sorry, everybody. Hello.
No sorries whatsoever, man. It's absolutely perfect the way it is. And look, it's I agree with what you're saying. Like the sort of frustration and the blocked up energy, right? And the other book that I picked up was talking about detachment. So we're like leeching onto this pathway that we want to make happen, this outcome we want to happen, and it's like fuck, it's not happening. So it like densifies or creates more dense the vibration of where we're at. But as soon as I picked up a book, I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Like clearly I'm here to just read you guys a story. Like I just accept that acceptance, that detachment of what the way I thought it was going to be, and just allowing the path to just be what it is going to be. Beautiful. So
Yeah, here we are.
you're here now. That's the main thing. So
Yeah.
first of all, welcome to the Daily B Show with Matty B and Issa, and we are going to smash out an amazing conversation. Brother, share with people a little bit about your backstory. You used to be an architect, now you're doing your bit to change the world and raise people's vibrations and consciousness and sort of self-awareness. And a French man living out of a bud, hanging out with an Aussie online is just the fucking way of the world of the future, which is so cool. But share with people, yeah, bro, a bit of your backstory and what you're up to at the moment.
All right, so just to make it short, actually, yeah, I have 3 occupations, as you said. You mentioned the third one. I'm living in Bali, and actually in parallel also in Shanghai. So in Bali, actually, I'm organizing some retreats. So we propose some 5-day retreats in Shambali. This is the name of our retreat center. So we propose, let's say, 20 different activities, which is holistic. Holos in Greek means entire, global. So there is like meditation, yoga, kundalini, there is Reiki, Qigong, self-hypnosis, sound therapy, and so on and so forth. And the objective is really to make it simple. It's based on myotics, the Greek philosophy, which is the following: help people to find themselves. So it's just to help them to reconnect to the higher self and to be more aligned with their verticality, that's to say the invisible world, the frequencies and so on, and to know themselves better and to let's say to find back a certain unity and also a kind of sense of life. This is really the basic elements, which is quite deep retreats. So this is my third activity, because the first one, I'm a CEO for a company of fashion industry in Shanghai. I have an office there.
That's why it's looking so good.
Yeah, it has been designed by all. No, just actually, this is also a way for me. I choose business to discover the world, and I had the chance to visit almost 70 countries. So I was interested by see and live within the production field. So it has been really initiatory and very interesting. And in parallel of that, my second activity, I'm professor for MBA students for different business schools in different places in the world, in China, in Europe, and so on. So here it is to have a little bit my background for the people to understand. And actually, so yeah, today I wanted to talk a little bit actually about, so it's really an interaction. Of course, the people can feel free to interrupt me or to ask some questions, even if I cannot see them immediately. But the goal is really the key point, which is, so we entitled how to raise the vibration. I just want to make it clear, to make sure that we are on the same page for everybody, because I could summarize with the key point, which is energy, okay? Energy, frequencies, and vibration, for me, I know there is a little difference, but here, we are not here to be too detailed and too precise. So we'll consider that is only a single word, which is energy. And actually, why is so important, and most of the people are awakening so far, and energy is a way to, let's say, to combine science and spirituality. And more, personally, I'm passionate about science and spirituality. And for me, it's not, they say, opposite. It is two faces of the same needle, okay? And that's why I like, and I will start even by quoting some different scientist references, just for the people to enlarge the perspective and to see that it is not completely, let's say, in the clouds, and this is also really well down to us. And the first quote is from Nikola Tesla, which is one of the greatest scientists, who said, if you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of vibration, frequencies, and energy. You see? So this is the first point. Why it is so interesting, so important, energy, because actually, and a second quote, I will not spend all the time to quote people, but just Einstein, which is for me one of the greatest reference, he said the following: what we have called matter is the vibration which has been highly reduced to be perceptible to our senses. There is no matter. He finished the quote with that: there is no matter. And this is really interesting, because what we consider as matter, like, you know, the table and so on, this is just pure energy. You are energy as well. You are made of organs, which are made of cells, which are made of molecules, which are made of atoms, which are made of subatomic particles, which are made, at the end, if you focus with a microscope, of energy. So there is only energy. So you're going to tell me, yeah, but when I knock on the door, when I touch, this is tangible. No, it's just energy. It is, you know, in physics, it is reaction force, okay? It is only that, basically. So this is really important to understand that, because afterwards we will enlarge our perspective in our daily life, because it's nice to think about that and so on, the galaxy and so on, but daily, in our daily life, practically, why is it interesting to master and to understand this notion of energy? Another point I wanted to explain just at the beginning, when we are talking about energy for the people, the individual people, is the energy in terms of invisible things and entangling and interconnecting everything, you know? And that's why also in our holistic well-being center, we are showing the bridge in different disciplines, the different traditions, the different perspectives, scientists or even traditional. You know, just an example. When you in Chinese, energy is qi, okay? And that's why you hear Tai Chi, Qigong, okay, which are discipline for Chinese medicine, okay? Qi energy, which is the same qi that you hear in Japanese, which is ki, Rai Ki, okay? Reiki, what is it concretely? It is the transmission of the subtle energy, which is the same thing that for the Hindu, the Buddhist, prana. And this energy is also the energy, the free energy that Tesla evoked a long time ago in 30s, last century ago, and which will be probably a way for us to have a new perspective, a new paradigm, a new vision of the future. Okay? That's clear.
Yeah. So on the, So one of the things that really threw me when I really stumbled across this was that this information has been around in like scientific, analytical, logical terms since the 20s and 30s with Einstein and Tesla and the different works that different physicists have done. Yet what is largely taught is that physical space that we're living in, that space of separation. And it is so fleeting to come by, and unless you really seek out answers and you go down that scientific route where you sort of come to a wall and you need to make that leap over to the spiritual realm, which is sort of what you're talking about, the two faces. The information is not readily available, and it's not common knowledge. Well, seemingly it wasn't common knowledge from my circles anyway, and where I was brought up in the society I was brought up in. But why do you feel that it is so hard for people to grasp and still so almost underground information?
Why actually is because, you know, we separated, we segmented everything, okay? Either you are a banker, either you are a priest, either you are... And we cannot consider that, you know, and that's why it's really interesting to come back on the origins, the tradition, and so on, to take some inspiration. If you analyze the ancient Greek philosophy, for example, you take Pythagoras, you take Plato, all of them. They are scientists, so they are mathematicians, and in parallel, they are philosophers. Okay, so they activate the right hemisphere, which is more the creativity, artistic dimension, and so on, and the left hemisphere, which is more the rationality and so on. And beyond of that, as they activate both hemispheres, they activate the third eye here, which is the notion of holistic dimensions. That's why most of them, they had a mysterious dimension as well. Pythagoras school is the school of mystery. It is really deep, it is really interesting, and so on. Plato solid, and so on. It has been reused afterwards in the sacred geometry. We have no time to deepen on that way, but just to say that people
We've got plenty of time, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, just in the sense that people like to say, you know, for example, what I am. Concretely, I am a CEO, a businessman, fashion, I'm professor, I'm a retreat leader, and so on. I'm three, and I can be the father, I can be the friend, I can be the kid sometimes, I can be the, you know, the wise person. And we have to really understand that we are different ones. The persona in Greek, it means the mask. And we have different layers as well. And this is interesting to dig and to see this, but also for the word. The word is not only what we see. That's why the Hindu talk about the mayas, the different spheres of consciousness that we cannot see with our eyes. And why I'm always jumping in between science and spirituality, because spirituality is a little bit personal approach, okay? It's not something that you can necessarily demonstrate, okay? It's more the feeling, the sensitivity, and so on. But science, it is down to earth in a certain way, so it is more admitted. That's why I always try to do the parallel. But just one thing, what we can see right now, for example, is 4%. The 4% is the matter, okay? The matter as we consider it, okay? 4%. 27% is dark matter that you cannot see with your eyes, and 69% is dark energy. You see? So if you are Saint Thomas and you believe only on what you can see, you only believe in 4% of the reality. Okay, and even if we go further, the only thing that you can see is a little bit skewed vision. You know, we can see through a keyhole because we only see the spectrum of the light. You cannot see the infrared, the ultraviolet. You cannot see the FM, the Wi-Fi, and so on. They are information, you know. And just on this point of view, you can, let's say, admit that because it's a matter of fact without playing with the word matter, because we say there is no matter, okay, it doesn't matter, okay. You see what I mean? It means that it allows the people to enlarge the perspective, you know, more and more, and even when you analyze the quantum mechanics, for instance, which is so weird, at the end it's Niels Bohr who said, in a certain way, if you understood the quantum mechanics, it's because you didn't really understand. You know why? Because it's so weird. Because it's like the more you penetrate quantum mechanics, the more you have another result in a certain way, another perspective, and so on. Okay, because we have difficulties to understand that things could be different things at the same time. You know, it's
that's massive for people, like hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, but just one simple example. I have a Rubik's cube, and I show you, and I'm asking you, what's the color? And you will say red, and I will say, no, it's blue. And someone in here, you know, will say, it's green, and so on. And we can fight, but it's just the fact that the Rubik's cube has 6 colors, you know, and the perspective of life is exactly the same. It's like an enormous kaleidoscope, and we have different perception, and that's why it's super passionating to understand how the human being is made, because they are a reflection of what you think, what we think, and also, if I can afford, which is a little bit spiritual, but let's take it as a let's say a philosophical reference. It is the universe experiencing itself through us, or I could have said God, but we are individually the universe experiencing itself. If you are only, you know, the painting, you cannot see the design. You cannot see the draw. That's why we need to extract from the big picture to see the masterpiece. And once you master the different pieces that we are individually, you master piece, inner piece, outer piece. If you see what I mean, playing on the word piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go back a little bit and just get you to explain as best you can the dark matter and dark energy as well.
Yeah, actually, this is a question of vibration and frequencies, okay? Without doing too difficult, you have a notion of length waves, okay? It is a notion of density of the vibration. Like, you know, the spectrum, I can do it like this or like this. The spectrum of light is, for example, the highest one are the violet, okay, and
ultraviolets.
Ultraviolet that you cannot see, but the red, infrared are the lowest one. Okay, so, but concretely, is a notion of frequencies and length waves. Sorry. So it's just a question of vibration and density. So the dark energy actually is full of energy and information. And if you hear information, you have information, in progress. And it is purely information, purely thoughts, purely vibration. And if you want to visualize a little bit, the dark matter, the dark energy, sorry, is what the Greek called ether, eternal. In Asia, we have 5 elements. Most of the Western people have only 4 elements, you know, fire, earth, water, and air. Okay, and here in Asia, in Taoism, in Confucianism, in Hinduism, and so on, we have a fifth one, which is ether. This is this subtle, which is entangling everything, and which is, let's say, the glue in a certain way, the glue encroaching and locking everything, entangling everything through the planet. But it's full of information. This is the vacuum, okay? And Yes.
So is that, can I just, to clarify, that's sort of where in the West, I'm sitting here and my phone and you are sitting over there and we feel like over there, the phone and you is something, me sitting over here is something, and the space in between us, there's nothing in between us. But actually in between everything is that glue, that ether that holds it all together.
Right.
And sort of the painting, there needs to be that space between the thing and the observer in
Right.
order for it to be observed in the first place. And there's that interconnected
Yes, that's correct.
substance that interconnects everything.
Actually, exactly. The difference we have in between both is only space-time, which is just an illusion. And there is a non-time once we are beyond of the matter. That's why we will see maybe later, that's why meditation is so important and so on, because you are out of the masterpiece, okay? And you have like the GPS, you have the big picture, the horizon of the things and so on. But if you want to visualize what is it concretely matter, dark energy, it is a thought. Okay, a thought, you cannot touch it, right? It is a kind of electricity, because if you put some electrodes, we will find some vibration. So, but this is pure thought or pure energy, okay? And then it's like if a lot of people adhere, for example, to a new philosophy and it is like a cloud in the sky, okay, a condensation of thoughts. And once a lot of people adhere to something and it's like accepted, sorry. There is like a download on the matter, and the cloud is becoming, with the condensation, like drops and like water. And the water arrive on the earth, and we have the visible aspect of this information on the matter, you see? But it doesn't. It's never changed. It's like in chemistry. If you see H2O, water,
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Sorry. The formula, whatever it is, water, like water, it is a cube, it is ice cube. Sorry, it is a condensation. It doesn't change. It doesn't affect the formula of it.
The element. Yeah.
The elements. So. And that's why Lavoisier, the great scientist, say nothing is lost, nothing is created, everything is transformed. And that's why there is all what you think right now, all what has been thought in the past is somewhere. And this is what we call in the Hindu dimension, the Akashic record. The Akashic record sounds weird. It is the Platon
Akashic record,
Akashic record. It is the the Platon world of ideas. Okay, it is a cloud once again. And once, for example, Eureka, I found it. It is you download an ID, but the ID is already there. Okay, and by the way, the proof is once you understand something, it's a connection in between two neurons, and then an electricity, a synapse in between both. But you add them before in your mind, in your brain in a certain way. So everything is prepared in your brain to understand the discovery that we will have probably in few years. Okay, just to come back on this point of dark energy, it is infinite energy with all potential. And if you want to see more, is a notion a little bit of consciousness and reality, but I don't want to lose too many people.
Go there.
Everything, is like space-time is an illusion because it is 24 picture at 1 second, okay? And then the movement is like domino, and then we have the illusion that we move and so on. But we are eternal now here, And every single second, you have a particle, okay? And then around that, you have the sphere of potentiality, okay? But everything exists at the same time. All the scenario exists. That's why there is probably multiverse. And, it's a little bit complex.
With the atom as well, how you've got the atom and then around it has got the infinite potential. Is that where basically it's only when that atom or that matter is then being observed that
Right.
it forms into one of the potentialities into the formation
True.
as well. Until it's
Yeah.
actually being observed, it's always in infinite space and time.
Exactly. Actually, there is a triptych in between the object, the subject, and the observation. Okay, and there is like a wall, WHOL, sorry, and is a block. Actually, is a block of information, and that's why I think it was Nietzsche who said, if you look at during a long time the abyss look at you. Okay, it's like a transposition. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but
I remember
to
I was on acid one time, and I was
yeah,
lying down looking at the sky, and and after a while I felt like I was up in the sky looking up at the earth, and if I let go of my chair I was going to fall back down to the earth down there. It was sort of like this like inversion of where I was. It was fucking crazy, but yeah, that's sort of similar to that.
yeah. And actually, to come back on what you said, yes, the observer has an impact on the matter, and that's why, for instance, this is what we call Young's slit in quantum mechanics. The scientists did some experience, and they saw that either they with waves, the waves of probability, waves of
Yeah.
contingencies, either if you analyze, it is only a particle. Just if you observe, you have a drop. If you don't pay attention, this is a wave of potentiality with all the scenario possible. So what we see in our reality, okay, consciously, it is a sum of different little dot, okay? But we cannot see the dark energy, which is the sphere of the whole potential, which are in the space-time, in their universe, they have their own reason of being. It means that we exist in multiple dimensions, in different us, which is a little headache if we cannot understand that. I say always we have to understand, and for that we have to be out of the ego to understand that. And is even not understand, is a perception. And once you have that, and that's all the Sufi, all the great mystic people are doing,
Mystics.
the
Yeah.
objective is to go out of the ego, edge God out. Okay, it's once we are as an individual and we are not in the big old tower. When I say God, is not necessarily something spiritual. It is, let's say, the universal soul. This is the Tao. This is whatever. I don't want to
Choose your own
to
label.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point. Or Mother Earth, nature, divine might, nature, and so on. So just that is, yeah, this is just to, it's the point of, let's say, the fact that everything is the nature, I mean, is just a little point amongst the infinity of the potential. And the potential is the dark energy. And this is exactly
Yeah.
what Pascal said. He said a quotation very interesting, very philosophical and adec as well. He said, it is a sphere for which the center is everywhere and the circumference nowhere. And he say it is. It didn't
Yes.
precise what he's talking about. Is it about God? Is it about consciousness? Is it about universe? And probably it's the three together.
All of it. Yeah. And also, I think one of the biggest challenges that I've found, and what I see as well in that that sort of bridging spirituality and science together,
Yeah.
is that the way in which we communicate is with words, and words are a part of the scientific side of the half. They're just a
Right.
part of it's a form of measurement, or it's a form of like it's a tangible thing that we use to try and explain both parts. But it's really not until we have that experiential side as well of the spirituality that there's that sort of understanding or perspective of it as well. But
Yeah.
is that sort of one of the biggest challenges you find as well in being someone that does speak on this a lot and does teach and sort of take people through their own processes of awakening, is that use of language?
Right. You know, the languages are segmenting. You know, even I'm not so at ease in English that I can manage with my native language, is a matter of fact. But the languages are limiting us in our perception. You know, and that's why also you said initially we are limited through the languages. But in the Genesis is written at the beginning was in the beginning he was the Word, and the Word was with
word,
God, and
yeah.
the God was Word. What does it mean? It's not a word. It means is a bad translation. It means energy, vibration. At the beginning was the energy, okay, and then the energy creates something on the matter. When we talk, we are shaping the reality, you know. And even if you analyze the etymology of even the sound, and it's really interesting when you say, for example, the first thing that you learn when you at school, for example, when you are 6 years or 5 years ago, 5 years old, you alphabet. Alphabet, you learn how to spell. And when you hear spell, you know that when you say cast a spell, it means this is like a magic. And the word is magic. The word is magic. The way of communicating is definitely magic. There, abracadabra is magic, you know. It's a vibration activating things and shaping a part of the reality, the consciousness, and so on and so forth. But yes, to reply to your question, indeed, the language is limiting us. By the way, there is a very beautiful quote from Rumi, the great Sufi, who said, if I am correct, he said, the silence is the language of God. Everything else is bad translation, you know? And that's why
Yeah.
we require a lot
Perfect.
of, you know, retreats, silent retreats with yourself and so on, because to awaken, to let's say, to have some, let's say, illumination or whatever, enlightenment, it is only through the loneliness and the nothingness and the vacuum and so on. Because you are touching not the matter, you're not in the limitless, you are in the infinite field.
Infinite potential.
Yeah, exactly. Of
Yeah.
the
So,
dark energy
so,
that we can call God
and
also.
absolutely, or Google, whatever we want to call it. So, bringing it back to the tangible as well, and for people that
Yeah,
are running around, going to work,
sure.
making lunch for
Yep.
the kids, obviously that speaks really like speaks weight for the practice of meditation and yoga and retreats and spending time in silence with oneself.
Yeah.
But what are some of the tangible practices, or what are some of the tangible practices that people you find have got on a lot of benefits from, or that really do help in their tangible day to day life of living?
Sure.
Yeah, because we've been speaking very big picture,
Sure.
and people are going to walk away just confused a lot of the time. But yeah, some tangible sort of advice as well.
Sure. So if I can give some different advice tips regarding how to raise the frequencies and more down to earth in the daily life, the first one would be to have a positive
Actually,
mind. Yeah, sorry.
Is that
Yeah.
before we go into the ways, can
Yeah.
you explain a little bit about the the benefits, first of all, of raising the vibration of why we do that, and also the negatives of staying in lower vibration, denser vibration as well. So they've got like an understanding as to why the fuck are we even raising a vibration? What is the purpose of this?
Actually, I can compare with a matter, okay, matter aspect. Do you like pain? If I punch you, do you like that? No, it's low vibration. Do you like if I hug you, or a nice woman give you a caress or whatever? You know, so it's a little bit that, okay. So,
Caress.
like this is down to earth, you know. It's that. So why it's interesting to rise up the frequencies is for you, because we are vibrating more, and for the planet in general. And then I can give you just to bounce back on what we said before with the word. The word is powerful. You know, when you are, you know, for example, in love, You're like flying. You have butterfly in the eyes and so on, and you are light. You have no load anymore. You are light. You are flying. You are Peter Pan, okay? And light is close to light, the photons, okay? So it's very high frequencies. When you have problems, you are in the gravity, it's grave, you have matter, by the way. When you have matter problems, you are in the matter. So you have density and you are...
What is the matter? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what is the matter? So why is important is for many things. For yourself, to have a better health, to have a better vision, to be more in harmony, basically, with yourself, with the people in general, with your environment, and to see also that the world is vibrating through us as well, which is a mystical perspective, but which is just, for me, a gorgeous, amazing things when it's happening to someone. You never feel alone, you understand? You feel all one. And then you experience the notion of, you don't need the hyper-connection. I have 10,000 fake friends on Facebook. I have 10,000 fake contacts in LinkedIn and so on. No, you're always connected, you understand? Once you find this high vibration, you don't feel alone when you are in the forest, for example. You don't necessarily need to share every single thing when you go to toilets, when you burn your bread and so on, You are just in the now here, you are just connected, definitely in a very subtle way. You understand? So why is interesting? Why is important? Just to live more harmoniously, basically, to reply to your question.
Beautiful. I love it. And it's amazing concept when you recognize and associate and identify with like what you were saying before, is like the universe observing itself through these eyes and through this experience. And so there is sort of that lack of loneliness. It's you're always connected, you're always feeling a part of everything and everyone as well. And you've got it's infinite potential within us as well, which is a beautiful sort of experience to be in. But yeah, okay, so now let's turn into a few of the things that people can really do to, I love that question as well, like what is the matter? And speaking of that as a really dense, like heavy space that we're in, like in the grave or in the grievances, and getting punched in the face. Like, I think that's a beautiful question to really focus on. Shit, I am down and heavy. What can I do to ascend and bring about a bit of lightness to this situation or this experience?
You mentioned something, even in etymology, ascent, it linked to that. It doesn't mean that you go in the sky. It means that you lift your energy, your frequencies. So thereby you elevate, you rise up, you ascend. And this is a metaphor, actually. Okay? And we could even, we have no time for that, but we could even discuss about the notion of paradise and hell, because it's in the now here. As long as you love, you are in harmony and so on, you touch the paradise. But on another perspective, if you are hating people and so on, you are in hell, you see? And it is now here, no need to wait for the judgment, the final judgment, and go in the, in the lava and so on. These are metaphors. And also, this punishment, I'm going to tell you something, maybe it's going to shock people, but this kind of punishment is for childish society, like people need, the carrots, to avoid to do mistakes.
Carrot and the stick.
Yeah, and the stick, And actually, as long as we understand that there is not a judgment at the end and only us satisfied or not with the diploma or not that we have, when you say, by the way, when you hear passed away, when you die, okay, you can hear something subtle. Passed the way means like to obtain your exam. So are you satisfied? Do you think you experienced enough? You understood and so on? Yes, I think I'm satisfied. Okay, you are in the oneness. That's it. And then the oneness is like the paradise, and then sometimes you get bored, so you go back on earth just to re-experience things, and also to help sometimes to become an angel and so on, okay? But in the simple thing that unfortunately for some people, because some people will think that it's unfair if some people are killing people. Yes, but they are here to experience. And even it's a teeny part of the divine dimension, which is also hard to admit, but he created everything in a certain way, light and the darkness. And even the darkness is important to put in relief the light. You know, in Arabic or even in Hebrew, shaitan means, we think it's the devil, it is, but actually it means the obstacle. So literally, it is the obstacle to the light. But if you have only light, at the beginning, you only have light, okay? It's only pure energy, pure masterpiece. So, as I explained, you don't extract from this light and you don't see the light. There is a very good book, Conversation with God. Walsh explained that with the little flame, you know, the little soul, sorry. And the little teeny one try, you know, like a little light of the lighter with the sun. It's useless. He needs the darkness to experience, to understand what it is, concretely itself, you understand? So, anyway.
100%. No, it's beautiful. It's the yin and the yang. You can't have the white without the black, and you can't have the black without the white. And just being able to recognize that, within us as well, that the dark and the light is a part of the one, and they need each other exclusively. They mutually need each other to exist. It's just that it's that sort of acceptance, complete acceptance and liberation from not trying to resist aspects of ourself or aspects of reality or aspects of society, but actually just an encompassing hug of the whole lot all at once.
True, exactly. Yeah.
How can we raise our vibrations? What's some of the things we can do to start raising our vibrations and start really ascending our energy?
For example, a first tip would be to have a positive mind. That's to say, it's a re-education. You know that it is. You have to change your bad habits to criticize negatively all the time. You know, because you have to reparameter that and to force a little bit yourself at the beginning. Why? Because we say most of the time that your perception on life is affecting you especially, you know. So it is really important to be positive. The second one is to be in the gratitude, okay? To be, let's say, as we say very often, we say happiness is not getting what you want, but to enjoy what you have, okay? Okay, I could be more handsome, I could be richer, I could be, but I could be
you couldn't.
less, okay? I have 2 eyes, I have 2 legs, I can walk, and so on, you know? And either you do things to change yourself, if you don't admit as you are, but just basically, you cannot do anything. Okay, it's like this, is a matter of fact. So it's good to be in the gratitude of life in general for what you have, what you are. Train yourself if you need, okay, to improve yourself, and also globally speaking, to all the good things that you have during the day. Okay, this is really important to, you know, even some people could say, oh, it's religious and so on. Just the fact to pray, for example, just to have a good intention regarding the people who prepare your food and so on. This is important to be in just the fact to have a lunch and so on, to thanks for that, to say, okay, thank you, whatever, who it is, what is it, we don't care, just thank you, you know, and you're happy of that. So the gratitude is really a deep way to rise your energy. Then it's really important as well, as a third advice, would be to surround yourself with positive people. To avoid energy vampire. It doesn't mean that you become selfish and you only want happy people, not necessarily, but at least you need a good balance because some people exist, unfortunately. I'm not saying that depression is not a disease, it is. But some people exist because they love to cry all the time and to find some shoulders. And a shoulder is punctual help, you know. It thinks that it is just as a crutch, you know, just to help you punctually.
Yeah.
And to avoid this kind of people or to explain them, you can help them for a few months and so on. But if you have a relationship always like this with, the notion of helping people and they suck your energy is bad. Okay, so it's good to be surrounded with positive people. Then it's very important as well.
Your positivity is, when I say your positivity, the more you like hold that positive mindset and that positive outlook and that gratitude towards life, the negative people tend to just fall away anyway. But then the ones that do come in, I find from my experiences, are just really there to test how solid that character trait within us is and how solid that's going to be. And we get opportunities to either fall back and lower down to their level, or we have the opportunity to raise up and maintain our frequency and vibration and give them an opportunity to raise with us, or to stand our ground and to make sure that we do manage our own energies in that space as well. So there's some great opportunities there, but a lot of it I find is just organically just falls away because you sort of attract, generally speaking, the similar vibrations and people at similar levels as well.
True, this is the law of attraction. Very often you attract what you emit, okay? We are what we think. That's why I said before, I didn't explain the reason why, but why is important to have a positive mind is for that, because we are magnets, okay? If you are, and the universe doesn't understand, I don't want, the negative way, it doesn't understand. So if you are afraid of something, you attract the fruit of this. It's exactly the same phenomenon. If you are stressed, you're afraid to sink in the water, you sink, okay? If you are relaxed and so on, you are floating. And by the way, it is the technique. What's the technique of floating in the sea, except if it's in the Dead Sea? It is to let it go. And it's a little bit like this. Okay, so, but to come back to the point, the vampire energy, sometimes they just want to share their bad mood. Okay, they want, because they have bad energy, so they want to share with people. Maybe
it reaffirms their state and it allows them to stay within it when the more people they have around them that support that.
Right. So as you say, one good thing is to help them, to give a help, or to give for them to join let's say the happiness, the harmony, and so on. And but what I suggest is never, reaction force. Never fight the darkness with the darkness. Just, in martial arts. That's why you can see a very old man, they are teeny, super, skinny and so on, and they can jump back a sumo. Why? Because they use a certain way of energy. They absorb the energy of the person and they recycle the energy. And when you, for example, you are nice with someone aggressiving you, sorry.
Aggressive towards you.
Sorry, towards you. It's better to show a good face. This is a little bit the metaphor of Jesus. Show a second face. It's not necessarily physically. It is just to. And sometimes people are not ready. They are not. They are surprised about your kindness, and sometimes they can, reduce a little bit the aggressivity, and they can rise up their energy. Okay, but it's better to.
So on that.
Sorry.
I've never been in a fight before, and it's because of exactly that. I didn't know what I was doing as a youngster, but in a lot of aggressive situations and potentially harmful situations where I could have been in fights or where my friends were in physical confrontations. I just had a different way about me. I just almost just approached them like I didn't care too much for their aggression. I didn't buy into it. I wasn't trying to resist it or be afraid of it or trying to repel against it. And no one ever really tried to fight me. Yeah,
exactly. This is a good way.
Worked really well.
Yeah. Another advice is the notion of mindfulness. Mindfulness, what is mindfulness? A lot of people are talking about mindfulness. It's quite trendy and so on. Mindfulness is not only a meditation. Mindfulness is a state of mind. Mindfulness means to be completely, fully absorbed by the present, the now here, the present, which is a gift. Most of the time, 95% of the time, 95% of us, essentially the modern societies, we are full of information, you know, and overwhelmed by information. And we are not in the now here. We are completely obsessed by what we're gonna eat tonight or for the lunch, what we did in the office yesterday and so on. And we are not completely presently absorbed by what we are doing. It means reactivating thereby as well the senses, okay? For example, when I talk now, I listen to me as well, which is a little bit weird, you're gonna think. But even my hands and so on, or I feel the pillow on my seat and so on. I really try, even when I'm driving my scooter, whatever I'm doing, I really absorb by what I'm doing. When you clean up, for example, you dish and so on, because it is also a meditation. And why it's so important? Because when you are completely absorbed by the now here, you are more receptive to the different vibration, invisible vibration, and the synchronicities. Okay, what is synchronicities for the people that don't know? It is non-causality, it is event without any causality. It means I think about, I don't know, I'm saying to you, I don't know, this is the butterfly effect, and immediately I see a butterfly flying in front of me. It's like there is a resonance in between the environment, the universe, and us, which is like a little miracles. And for that, we have to be really attentive, absorbed by the now here about our environment and so on. Okay, so this is one of the tip as well. Another very important tip, is health. To be healthy. Healthy, what does it mean? We will list different ones. But to be healthy means to have a good balance of life. You know, most of people are unbalanced in their life. They are, as I'm always saying, excess make less, okay? So it's important. It doesn't mean that you have to renounce to different things, but at least with a certain, let's say, balance and, let's say, for example, consumption of alcohol and so on, no need to be completely drunk every weekend, you see what I mean? So it's affect your energy, that, all right? So all this kind of thing you can do, but little by little, just without any excess. So this is a way of being well balanced in your life and to rise up your frequencies. Meditation as well, obviously, is a good way for that.
So with the balance, just to jump in there as well, I just want to clarify, like, because there is always balance, and correct me where I've got holes in my information, or if you subscribe to this as well, is that there's always balance. But when we speak about people being out of balance, it's not that there's an out of balance, it's just that our perception of experiences that we've gone through are lopsided. We're only seeing one side of the coin. And so this perspective of an experience or an event that we've had and we've been through is that we're looking at it from just one side of the pole. And actually, once we are able to get that holistic view of an experience, that's when that perception then balances up. But it's always actually balanced. There's always balance to every experience and every situation.
Exactly. But, you know, for example, I will use as a reference of symbolism. In the Christianity, the cross, for example, okay, is not the symbol of the torture of Jesus. It would have been like this. It would have been a T. Okay, at this epoch, they were killing people like this. It's this symbol. What does deeply means? It is the real essence. It means the good enlightenment with the horizontality, the materiality, the Epicureanism, you know, the good life, the good party, the good nature, the good sex, whatever you want, okay? Materiality, you align with that, you are balanced with that. And verticality is with the spirituality, the invisible world, and so on. You enlarge your consciousness. You're not always the head in the sky, in the stars, and you're not only on the materiality, on the materialistic dimension, money, electronic device, and so on. You are in between both. And what is at the center of that? The center is you. And I will bounce back. Center is that. To be balanced is to find back your center of gravity, okay? And this is the single point of singularity, and by the way, the 0 point energy and so on, that we can learn also in Chinese medicine and so on, the Qigong, okay, the Dantian and so on. But without going too far, just meditation, even that meditation, what does it mean? In Latin, medium means center. Go back to your center. And the center is you, okay? You are your center, you are your temple. When you contemplate, you open up the doors of your temple, your inner, okay? That's why all the quests regarding all the esoteric currents that I study during my long path, which is not finished, of course, there is always this dimension of inward perspective, inner journey. Why? Because you have to find things through your inner side, your inner dimension, your inner, let's say, you center basically. Okay, so jump back to meditation. Why is it so important? It is important to get out of your mind for a while. You know, you have 5 different schools to summarize of meditation. There is Vipassana, Zazen, there is mindfulness, there is MT meditation transcendental, or TM transcendental meditation, and you have visualization, okay? All of them allows you to let's say, to penetrate, to integrate the nothingness, the emptiness. And the paradox is the emptiness allows you to reach the fullness, you know? Why? Because you are in this field, the unified field, when you touch that. And how you do that? When you're out of your ego. And how to be out of your ego? You have to, what we call, to master your monkey mind, you know, the little monkey always giving you, trying to annoy you. And
well.
yeah, it's working super well since we are kids. And for that, you don't have to fight with the monkey mind. To become a monk, the monkey is to master the monkey. And for that, you have to give him a banana to play with. So the banana can be, Vipassana is focusing on the breath, how you breathe. Zazen is focusing on one point, on focusing on the wall. And TM is repeating a mantra, sentence, for example, or a word, whatever, and so on. And actually, once you are focusing on the point, referring to what we said before, and then you enlarge the perspective of your consciousness, the sphere of your consciousness, okay? And this allows, visualization is another story because it allows to activate different frequencies. When you visualize, for example, your 7 chakras, okay? It is, we were talking about frequencies later, 7 chakras, 7 notes of music, 7 colors. It's not random. It is because it's referring to certain frequencies, okay? And when you activate, when you think about them, you activate them. If you visualize them as rotating, because chakra means wheel in Sanskrit, or you can visualize it if you can afford a Taurus, it's even better. You activate these frequencies. And all of them are referring to a certain notion. The red one is the sex, it is let's say the link with the materiality. The orange is the link with the absorption, okay, in between you and the outer world. Let's say the plexus, the solar plexus, the yellow is the emotion. Okay, and by the way, you can feel it, and when you have an aggression or you feel upset or you are in harmony, is always here in the at this level. Okay, then it's the earth and so on. The communication is here and so on. Okay, so this is perception, and even you can play on that. For example, you have a conference, you want to be well perceived with people. You can use the blue color. Why? Because this is the color of communication here, the 5th chakra. Okay, it's frequencies as well. Okay, so you activate, and people will understand you better. Okay, maybe it's not random that I put this shirt today. You see, and I put my eyes
Absolutely.
also. I put my eyes for this today as well. I'm kidding.
You did, and your cord too.
Yeah. Okay. No. To be more serious. Yeah. So it's for that. Meditation is really, really, really important. It's like, you know, personally, I'm not taking any drugs. I'm not taking any alcohol. My life is amazing. It's the party all the time. My meditation is my joy. I don't take alcohol. I have my holistic breath work, which is more than, and the day after it's definitely better as well. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can have also, but because it's me, people drinking a little bit, that's fair enough. If for them it's okay, you know what I mean? So a balance in life. But meditation, I invite people who don't meditate to do it.
100%.
I can help them if they want. I have some records and so on. I can give you some links for them for free, 4 hours, 5 hours, by the way, for free if they want. I will be really happy
Beautiful.
for them to open up. Okay. Then another point
Yeah,
really
beautiful.
very important is the energetic nourishment. Okay, we take the energy from the food as well. And this
Yes.
is important to be aware of what you eat. Okay, we are what we eat. Okay, it's vibration as well. If we are only eating some, for example, refined product, but you can imagine that first refined product, you don't have anything inside. Huh? I don't want to do too much in nutrition, but basic things. You have nutrients, which are the energy. You have the enzyme, you know, like in the to wash clothes, but enzyme is also in your body to cleansing,
Yeah.
clean up in a certain way your body naturally. You don't need pills normally. Huh? If you have a good health, you can maintain it by also the good food. So organic, if you can afford. But if some people say, let's say I don't have money because unfortunately so far in the former, I hope in the future former world, organic is more expensive, and the future will put shit on the other product because it should be a normality. How come we don't ban, basically the government don't ban
Yeah.
the other products? Oh, maybe because of money. Maybe, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
So, but anyway, once you eat correctly with organic products, with, for example, you don't need to eat so much actually. Why? Because it gives you more energy. If you eat junk food, sorry to do good advertising to McDonald's, but if you eat McDonald's, actually it is you fulfill basically. Okay, then you have the nice, let's say, toy for your kid, and he's really brainwashed for all his life. He has the pleasure of the toy and so on. But anyway, this is marketing stuff. But just after 2 hours, you feel hungry. Okay, why? Because you don't have any substance through this food. Okay, so that's why organic is very important. Using vegetables and fruit as well. 5 if you can afford every day. Why? It's full of fiber, allowing to detox and to have a better transit and so on. This is excellent. Organic food, fresh food as well, raw food sometimes, not always, raw food, because it's good, it's preserving the nutrients, okay? That's
Yes.
why in Ayurveda in Sanskrit means science of life, okay? Ayurvedic is not only for food, but it is one subset of the Ayurveda. We cook always under 43 degrees Celsius or 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Why? Otherwise, you kill the nutrients. You kill the good little helps.
Okay.
You know, the little soldiers bringing you the energy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very
Yeah.
important to eat under this temperature, and also to eat a maximum of let's say raw product. You know, even roots. Why is good to eat roots? Roots because they are still in a process of increasing, growing. You understand? So you will have that through your body. Okay, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I can talk also about so fresh food and so on, and also what we call, maybe it's gonna make laugh people, but at least laughing is good for health. This is what we will see after. But
Yes, it is.
it started from Canada. energy food. What is it concretely? You know the legend of the recipe of grandma preparing in her garden and with love and so on. And there is a taste, the different tastes. It's the same for energy food. The energy food is some food, obviously is a little bit more expensive, but the food that the farmer is talking, is loving his garden and so on. He talks to the plants and so on. But you know that it has been proved in a certain way. It's the Baxter, the Dr. Baxter, who did some experience with the impact of his mind on a plant with electrode, and you could see like I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna cut you, and the plant was vibrating differently. If you say, but it's the same principle as well. I mean, it's not completely the same principle that the experience on the rice and on the water, Masuro Emoto, which is another vibration. It is the fact that all organic products, they still have a kind of consciousness, if we can, hey, what's up, man? No, it's not exactly like this, but at least they have a kind of consciousness. So if you are taking care of them, when you are preparing the food or before when you are a farmer, for instance, it brings better energy, actually. And after that, you don't need to eat so much, okay? Because you have different ways as well to, you can also, without going too far, I did a video regarding breatharianism, because I'm partially that. That's to say I can, people could laugh, I can eat light. I know it's funny. It's very
making me hungry.
It's cheap. No, not all the time, but I can do it long period fasting and so on. But I know it's funny.
What's the longest period?
21 days.
Yeah, wow. I did 12 days the first time I ever fasted. It was an amazing experience, and I didn't eat any light though, so maybe I should have eaten some light and might have lasted a bit longer.
It's a long process, and to be honest with you, it's quite a long process. And then if I can finish on the food, for instance, to avoid meat, too much meat is not good for the frequencies as well. Essentially, when it's not organic food, when you see the slaughters and so on, the bad condition of the animals and so on. I'm not saying that personally I'm vegetarian, but I'm not a proselyte for vegetarianism. But if people eat that, it's better to have organic food with a certain respect of the animals. You know, the shaman, I did retreats with a real shaman in Mongolia. They eat meat because they don't have choice. They don't have, let's say, agriculture in a certain way. There is no 9 months per year. So, but they ask to the soul of the animal their permission in a certain way. I need to kill you because I need to eat, and it's okay. You know what I mean? It's respectful. It is more respectful.
100%.
So when you eat also the energy of the animal. That's why I don't remember what's the name. There is a ko in Japan. They sing for them. They hug the ko. They give to the ko some beers and so on. And apparently, I never tried, but it's the most expensive and also the best meat on the planet. You know, because there is an effect. Anyway,
so I used to live on a hobby farm growing up as a kid, and we had like sheeps and pigs and cows and chickens and ducks. Maybe not ducks, but we had all these animals, and it was just a little farm. But we spent so much time with those animals, and I used to love like my pet pig and my pet cows, and we really reared them, and they were part of the family. And I was just talking about this with a friend the other day, and literally when it came time to killing them and eating them, it wasn't this, as kids, it didn't seem like this horrific sort of experience. It was a beautiful process of these, although it was pretty hectic, you know, chopping heads off chickens and hanging cows. But at the end of the day, it was this beautiful process of we've reared these animals, and they've been there for us, and we've given them a beautiful life, and we've shown them a lot of love. And now they've sort of given back to us as well. And it was an amazing way to sort of grow up in that environment. And it was a beautiful way to sort of be shown that process of life and death and the transition between the two.
Exactly. And this is respectful. And indeed, the meat brings you, in that case, a lot of good vibration if the animal agree in a certain way in the tradition and in the respect of the animals. Indeed, yes, it's a matter of fact, right?
I'll let you eat me if you're hungry,
Yeah.
and I'm the only thing there. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Keep in mind. Another way to rise up the, let's say, the energy, to rise the energy, the vibration, is also to move your body. That's to say, to do some exercise, just to make circulate your energy. Okay. Otherwise, your energy is stagnant, like stagnant water, and then it smells. That's why all the qigong, tai chi, even the yoga, in a certain way, is that it is making circulating. You know, you have chakras, but you have also meridians and so on. And in China, because I lived there for 9 years, the old people, they are always doing some gyms, but not like to do bodybuilding and to become Schwarzenegger, of course not, just to activate, you know. And some old people, they are 84, 85 years old and so on, and they are still doing and so on, okay, but at least they, let's say, they refresh their body, okay, to make the circulation of the good energy. It rise the vibration and so on. Yeah, it can be also, when I say move your body, it can be also the dance and so on, the good vibration of the music, the sound and so on. It just, yeah, it is, once again, I said it is the chi, the ki, and the prana is always the same thing. There is other way. It is the same. It's different language. If I switch in other language that I can speak, it will be. It doesn't affect the content. It just affects what is affected is the form. Okay. Once very important, and also moving your body activates some endorphins, which is one of the 4 hormones of the happiness. Okay. There is other one, oxytocin and so on. Another way is to go regularly to nature. Go back to the nature, go back to your true nature, because it is full of good energy. You know, when you live in a city all the time, you have a certain oppression, even pressure. Even if you don't feel it, you know, there is cement everywhere, okay? There is, so where is the energy that? Okay, it's affecting badly the energy. It's like if you try to do, you know, yoga with an armor. Okay, you are completely blocked. That's why you are suffocating sometimes. You are oppressed. That's why it's good sometimes, at least once a day, once a week, sorry, to go to the forest, to go to a park or whatever, if you can afford.
Beach.
And yeah, to the beach, and to let's say to reactivate your good vibration, your natural vibration, and to align with the Schumann frequency, the Earth frequency, normally, which is 7.23 Hertz. It's changing recently, unfortunately, but normally it's that. So it allows you to feel calmer and more energetic afterwards. Okay?
Yeah, beautiful.
Another way as well is to use the audio frequencies, okay, to be aware of the fact that at the beginning, in the beginning was the sound and so on. It affects also your mind. You have a lot, if people ask me, I can send a list of more than 30, 40 different music tracks to do meditation, or even just to relax and so on, with good frequencies.
Yeah.
The frequencies that we listen in the normal life is 440 Hertz, which is really disharmonious vibration. Okay, the normal one is 432. Okay, there is a software to convert, by the way, but this is a good one, for example. And then this is what we call the solfeggio harmonic. There is different steps without being too technical. But
I started going to bed listening to 432 hertz frequencies for a while there, and it was amazing, the different experiences. Like I experienced some lucid dreaming, some really vivid dreams, and then waking up just a whole nother level of rested and invigoration and energy throughout the day as well. It blew my mind.
But actually, this, for example, you have some soundtracks with massage of chakra in a certain way. Okay, is activating some part of your body. It can be also for you. You know that we are radios, like we have alpha, beta, theta, and so on in your brain. So for your concentration, for your memorization, and so on. So it's very important to be aware about that. Okay, you have different ones, and you have 524, and so on. You have different ones giving you like some food gives you some special nutrients. These frequencies affect your body in a certain. It's like a menu. And once you know that, you can say, okay, I need that to relax myself or to be more energetic and so on. So it's important to discover that. And this is typically what we call sound therapy. You have different ways. You have the fork, you have the Tibetan bowls, you have the crystals, you have many ways. Okay. Then very important as well to have a kind of rituals of protection. You know, ritual of protection is to preserve yourself. Okay, we are exchanging all the time, even when we shake hands or hug someone and so on. We receive the energy of someone. You know, in the Quran is written 1/3 of the population will be killed by the ayn. Ayn in Arabic means the bad eye. Okay, because if someone emits bad energy, you receive it. Okay, that's why it's important. There is many rituals, but for example, a very simple one is to visualize just a beam of light, or let's say a cocoon. Okay, a cocoon in which you are full of light, for example. Or if you are in a subway and so on, you can just do that. Visualize it 5 seconds. That's enough, and it preserves you. As long as you believe in it,
100%.
of course. If you think it's a crap, it's bullshit, obviously it will not work. It's like everything. Everything is somatic as well. Yeah. Well,
you get the placebo working on it.
Definitely placebo, and obviously. Then a notion of cleansing, which is important for rise your frequencies, is, for example, you have different ways of cleansing. Fasting, for example. Fasting is very good. Fast and harmonious, not fast and furious, fast and harmonious. Fasting, actually, 24 hours, or what I recommend is for the people they can afford 3 days. 3 days that been proved. It is known in Russia, in Soviet Union in the past. The Hindu do that, and all religions, Ramadan, the Lent. How do you call that in Lent? Sorry. Why? Because it's good for health. Once you, when you fast punctually, actually your digestive system rests. Also, when you eat, actually you use 50% of your energy to recycle into energy. You know, that's why when you fast, you have more energy after a while. Okay, because
you do,
and you take on your reserve, your stocks. And another point is that you reboost your immune system. After 3 days, the third day, actually, you reactivate your white cells completely, and then you feel it when you start to eat back. Your vision is better, is clearer, is more sharp. You are more aware about the sound and so on. Your skin is better. You feel your wrinkles and so on. I really invite people to try the test if they can afford. No need to, let's say, it shouldn't be a sacrifice.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's
pretty cheap to fast.
It is, yeah. But then even that, psychologically speaking, afterwards, you love food. You know, even the cucumber that you hate normally and so on, you dream at the cucumber. You know what I mean? So after that, just a basic salad is a miracle, is an orgasm, is an orgy of the taste bud and so on, you know? So it's also important only for that. Another way actually of cleansing is to use, I recommend once a year, or if we can afford, for every three months for the change of season, which is to drink with water a glass of sulfate of sodium or sulfate of magnesium. It's horrible. The taste is horrible, but it's clean up completely. You know, fasting and that actually allows, you know, your stomach is full, unfortunately, of, you know, it's like pipes. And it's full of fecal matter. Sorry for the people who are eating. But everybody. So it's obstruct the good functioning of your digestion and your body in general, your energy and so on. So it's like a pipeline. Sometimes it's good to put to clean up completely, and then the circulation, the fluidity of the energy will be better afterwards. So this, obviously, when you drink sulfate of sodium, then you have a special relationship and a good privacy with your toilet for maybe 1 hour, but then you are completely empty, let's say empty, and yeah, it's clean.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful, as you said. It's in terms of cleansing, what is good also is to disconnect sometimes of our servitude, our slavery with the electronic device, Twitter, Facebook, you know, the old pop-up that we have all the time, impeding us to be in the mindfulness, in the now here. It's good sometimes just to switch off, you know, and actually, this is something that is good to do, honestly. It's good to do. And in terms of cleansing, to be in a hot water as well is very good as well. It's calming, and it allows you to rise your energy.
Yeah.
I could talk also about the crystals, but once again, you have to find your own ones because it's emitting some vibration and so on. But people have to know and to do research about that and to be guided by someone for that, or to do some research by their own. Another way is to repeat affirmation. You know, it is in psychology what we call the Coué method. Repeating. This is auto or self-suggestion. To repeat things, though, for example, I feel good. I feel good. No, honestly, quite often during the day, or even another way, which is very important, is to have positive intention before sleeping. Okay, to be grateful, even if you had
before anything.
Yeah, before anything, but before sleeping is good because you are in a good mood. You are preparing your day of tomorrow. Okay, and if you say, for example, thank you for this great day and so on, and you say, for example, and thank you for tomorrow will be even worse, better or amazing or whatever. And you can also say what you want. I'm happy for, I don't know, this meeting with this person is amazing tomorrow. And you always use the present tense, okay? Not tomorrow, will, and so on. It is now here. There is only a now here. Okay?
Absolutely. I think with affirmations, some people find them a bit weird to start with. But when you actually understand that over 60,000 thoughts every day, like more than 80-90% of them are the same things we've already thought, we're actually already doing affirmations in our own mind over and over and over again, living the past. And so just to be conscious about them and actually start implementing some of them, they're going to start helping to raise the vibration and just shift what we're sort of the time we're spending in our mind and what's going through it is just really, really beneficial.
Exactly. Another way is, for example, massage. If you can afford, of course, can be your partner or can be, I don't know, but it's good because stranger on the street, of course. But no, I mean, in a special place, it's good to reactivate also the energy, the chakra, the meridians, and so on is good as well. Also, laughing is really, really essential. It's I'm always saying, humor makes you more. You know, if you are more healthy, it's good for digestion, it's good for many things. The way you are in your mind, the state of mind, if you are laughing, let's say 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes per day, you are really, really healthy. And it's create, of course, endorphins once again. Yeah. You know,
we had to have a laugh before getting onto this, didn't we? Had to have a bit of a laugh at how fucking long it took and all the challenges we faced. Got a laugh.
Yeah, exactly. But you can see people sometimes they don't look like old because they are always laughing. Or they only have, for example, you know, laughing wrinkles. And it's beautiful, by the way. It's very nice and it's very important. Yeah. I was talking with someone yesterday regarding organizing a planetary event of laughing one day. And I say, it would be amazing, but unfortunately, a lot of people will say, I don't have time. Is that, by the way, there was Mozart say something very interesting. He say, I don't like people who don't have the sense of humor. They are not serious people. I love it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Important thing as well, beyond of, joke aside, being serious, is to have an harmonious home where you live. Actually, this is based on the Feng Shui. Okay, Chinese, some people say Japanese, Chinese way of the harmonious flow of energy, flows of, and actually, if your room is a mess, your life will be in a mess. Your mind is a mess. When you clean up, when you organize everything, even when you clean up your dish and so on, is affecting your mind as well. And the Feng Shui for me is not only your home. Feng Shui, I'm always saying, I practice the Feng Shui of life. When you put things in order, in good squares and so on, you feel better. You see, it's otherwise let's say trapping
Chaos.
your energy in a certain way, and there is bad fluidity of the energies. Another thing also I recommend is, for example, to give for free, in a quote mark, to a stranger, for example, good energy, to say to someone on the street that you will never see again, oh, you're so pretty today, and then you disappear. And the person you will see, even if it's not true, is a white lie, it's not a big deal, but you will see if the person is in the darkness, someone talked to me and I'm pretty today, and then she will be pretty, she will be radiating. You know, this is the principle of the guy saying, oh, life is unfair, is the Murphy effect, because I've been single for 5 years, no girls were looking at me. Now I met a very nice girl, I'm in love, and all the girls are looking at me. It's not a law of Murphy law. It is just because the guy is Murphy law. It's because the guy is radiating, is shining, is happy, is in love. So the person, the woman, or can be the same for the man, they are attracted by this stimuli with this vibration, these high frequencies, and it's not tangible. But it is like some people say, oh, you went to holidays, you have a good face, you change your head cut and so on. No, I'm just in love. I'm just happy, you know, and they feel it. They feel it, yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. That's actually one of the things that in when I was young in primary school, I read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, and one of the biggest things I took away was giving people a genuine compliment, and the impact that had as a young kid. And the people around me, my peers around me, was phenomenal. And to this day, like, it's one of the main things that I am conscious about doing. And just, it's so easy to change someone's entire day and to help them raise their vibration just by giving them something beautiful like that for nothing in return.
That's true. Yes, that's correct. Indeed. Yeah. And last one, which is really important as well, which is a beam of light, to use light, even if personally I'm coming from north of France, I've been really traumatized by that, the lack of sun. That's why all my quest is based on the sun. It's true, it's not a legend. So in Australia, you are lucky. But some people in Britain or in Nordic countries, for example, are suffering of that. That's why the light therapy is really important to visualize. Why? Because the light activate, the photons activate your pineal gland, the third eye dimension. It's regulate as well your circadian cycle. This is the cycle, the sleeping cycles. So you sleep better and so on. That's why on holidays, most of the time, we have fun, we are relaxed and so on, but we sleep better because we have an access to the sun. So it's really, really important that, So here we are almost evoking roughly 20, but there are hundreds and hundreds once. If I could afford, it's not necessarily a conclusion, but something I started with 2 quotes of scientists. I will do another one, the last one with Einstein, which is linked once again to energy. And he said the following, he said, everything is energy and that's all. Match the frequency that you want, and you cannot obtain it. It is not philosophy; it is science. I repeat, if you want, everything is energy, and that's all. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot not obtain it. It is not philosophy, it is science. He said that, huh? I didn't add, it is not philosophy, it's science.
Yeah.
He finished like this.
Yeah.
So what does it mean concretely? Match the frequency of the reality that you want and you in a certain way, and you will obtain it. What does it mean? You vibrate, okay, you vibrate something, I'm positive and so on, and then I'm shifting to the reality, because we talk about the multiverse initially. You shift to a certain scenario. Okay, you are negative, you shift in another one, and so on. But every single second, you have the right and the possibility to shift and to change. So that's why it's very good also. When you're upset, you are really low vibration. For example, you quit, okay? You try a meditation, it doesn't work. Just do something, some basic things. During 1 minute, you do the all horrible words that you can. Okay, shit, all what you want, fuck, and so on, and then wow, and you shout if you can. Be more upset than someone upset, you know, and then it's normal. The people try to struggle against that. They somatize, they create cancers and so on, and it's good to take it out, the bad energy like this. So that's why.
Well, that's why we shit as well. Because our body does that. It's just the same process. Is that we take in what we need, or the thoughts, or the food. We absorb all the good stuff, and then we shit out the bad, and it's got to go, and it's fine. It's a natural part of the process, and it needs to be recognized and released.
It's definitely true. And if I can afford just a very glamorous example, when I did my 21st 21 day. Okay, so I even clean up at the beginning. So I was supposed not to have anything at all. And after 12, 13, 14 days, I was still shitting. Why? Because
I had 3 days and I stopped.
Yeah, but so I don't know, maybe it was
you were full of shit.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah. Anyway.
Beautiful, brother.
Yeah, so it was really the idea, just to come back on these points, the fact that people, that's why it's really important to believe in yourself, to believe in the dreams, as long as you identify them. As Seneca said, there is no favorable wind for the people who don't know where they go. There is no favorable wind. There is no favorable wind for the people they don't know where they go.
Yes.
Okay. If you don't have an objective, it's useless. You know, you just run, and most of the people, they don't have reason of being. They don't have mission. They don't know, and it's unfortunately it's sad actually, and that's why also I'm always explaining to people it's really important, as the great philosopher said, the Little Prince, turn your life into a dream and this dream into reality. Is that to keep your inner child, to believe in your dreams, even it's difficult and so on. And when I share at the beginning what I'm doing and so on, all my life, I'm still a kid. I'm a kid of 40 years old, and I'm still a kid. I'm playing with you. I'm playing with life. Life is a playground, okay, with some times of some misfortune, let's say misfortune, sorry. Let's say we can consider that this is to put in relief the happiness, but in a sense that everything is possible as long as we believe in our dreams, we believe in ourselves, escape the people who are vampire and energy vampire for that as well. You know, the dream killers. Most of the time is because they don't dream enough, you know. And I think if you don't dream anymore, you are like a ghost. And unfortunately, in this modern society, a lot of people are ghosts. And that's why it's important to help them to awaken, but also in this sense of life. Awakening for me is not necessarily to think about the fifth dimension and to elevate and so on. Is the now, here is now, the fun. The paradise is here. We are living here as long as we believe in it, as long as we catch the high frequencies. Yeah.
And you sort of touched on what one of my next questions was going to be, which was, how do you know when you're matching the frequency of the thing that you want, from the Einstein quote? But you sort of touched on it. It's like when we have, I'll let you answer that question.
May I reply down to earth the same way when your heart is attracted by someone. You don't say, I am in love or what? And no, you are in love because you are vibrating and you don't have this question to ask yourself anymore. You know, when you are aligned with your life, with your guidance, with whatever the mission that you have, when you feel it. That's it. Life is simple. So it's the same principle with someone. When you have some feelings for someone, you love her. That's it. You love him. That's it. You know, so you feel it.
That's it, bro. That's it. And like you said, being a kid and holding onto that dream, putting that out there, and then the being in that state of gratitude for something that's already happened in the present. And when you really fucking just feel that love for it, that gratitude, that's a beautiful space.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. This has been amazing, and just like I said, as well as Charlotte just pointed out as well, the reasons why we had so many technical difficulties was because we were vibrating at a frequency that these primitive technical communication sort of apparatuses were struggling to deal with. But share with everyone sort of where you're at the moment, some of the retreats or the courses that you might have coming up, and anything that you'd like to share with them that they might be able to connect with you and come and experience with you as well.
Sure, but actually they have my name, so they can. And otherwise, regarding if they want, for example, the course, and I can send them for free. And regarding the retreats, you can check on the website www.shambali.com. I spell it to cast a spell. No, I'm kidding. SHAMBALI. Why Shambali? Because it's a mix. Shambhala is not the terrestrial paradise, is not the celestial paradise, is here. And the goal is that is a center for which the person is the center, and the center is the guest, actually. And the goal is really that the people find back their center to contemplate the world, to marvel at life, and really to find back this paradise, which is just here, actually. So there is a mix with Shambhala and Bali. And this is also because I'm living in between two words, Shanghai and Bali. So it's Shanghai, Shambali, Shanghai, Shambali. It's a mix in between both. Shanghai is really Western oriented and so on so far. Bali is really in the sky, let's say, or party for the other people. And is to combine both. And the goal is not necessarily that people squeeze their life, let's say they quit their job and so on, and it's just they apply a new grid of vision of life and the way of reading the great book of life and to co-write it as well. So it's more that to help them through this perspective and to enlarge with a maximum. That's why we have a different perspective, and also we always teach through a triptych: TIP, T from the theory, P from the practice, and E from the intuition, and the intuition, the eye of consciousness, the eye of the higher self. Once you learn by the books, by the theories, and you put in practice, and then you activate your third eye, and you are more connected to download some information from your higher self and from the outer world, which is also within you. And this is based on what Rumi said, which is a little bit philosophical and deep. He said, you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean within a drop. Once we understand that, we can vibrate with the world. And that's why the Vedas said, try to find the place which is already yours in this cosmic breath. Well, okay, I know it's a little bit too much, but anyway, it is just amazing. And just one thing, life is a great miracle. Yeah. And it's important to seize it, actually, to grasp it.
Absolutely.
And seize in the sense of understand and to hug it.
Yeah. Don't let that pendulum keep swinging. Just hold on to it.
Yeah.
Hug it.
All right.
That's amazing, brother. I'm really excited when when I meet a lot of people and some people come into my life that haven't been a part of this world and haven't gone down this path yet and really at the start of their journey. And I know when I meet them that they're onto something great, because just being in my presence and them being there, not to big note myself, but for them to come into my world, they're on a certain path of discovery, because I'm going to drop some fucking crazy information on them and shift their paradigms pretty quickly. And I know that when I meet people and people come into my life the same, just like I've had the opportunity here to share this with you, and we've had a few amazing conversations already.
Right.
I know that my life is on an amazing sort of incline and tangent and path as well. And I'm really grateful for
And
being on this with
actually,
you.
you are grateful, you're happy of that, and you are radiating that. So you are like magnets, you attract that. And, you know, I'm always saying, we never meet people, we find a part of ourselves that we had lost. And it means that the part vibrating with you or with other people is a part reactivating from themselves and from the consciousness, which is only one and not segmented. We segmented think just to understand the little different pieces of the masterpiece, to see the beauty of the masterpiece. Yeah.
This has been a masterpiece. And,
this is endless, you know, to masterpiece, inner and outer piece is like the tide. It comes, sometimes I'm upset, like everybody. I reduce my frequencies. You know, it's like Sisyphus. You go on the top, then you fall down, and so on, so far.
Yeah.
But like this is initiating, of course. If we were always happy and so on, it's not balanced life neither. So it's good also to fuck. Yeah. You know? Sorry to finish like this, but
nah, let's fuck our way out of here, brother. I love it. I love fucking. I love what we're doing. So I appreciate it.
I'm kidding, of course. Yeah.
Mate, I look forward to catching up in person when we finally do. I'm definitely coming to Bali to see you soon.
Yeah,
and
in Australia, in Bali, or wherever. Sorry.
All the above. Absolutely.
Okay.
I can see us doing something together very soon, and maybe even a round 2, because I'm sure that we've got a lot more that we can get on here. But thank you for everyone for joining, for watching. Anyone
thank you,
watching the
everybody.
replay, and,
sorry for my late again. Okay.
No
Take
need
care.
for apologies. It was perfect.
Take care, all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye.